All right, Nate. Been turned into something of like a white whale when it comes to MMA interviews. You know that?
I don't know what a white whale is.
It means that you don't do many of them.
Yeah.
How come?
It just doesn't necessary to talk all the time.
I mean, it seems like, if anything, in the sport of mixed martial arts, it's like people want to do more interviews and you're doing less. I mean, explain the mindset behind that.
I think it's always been like that. Like, I remember doing The Ultimate Fighter. I did The Ultimate Fighter, and every day you did a confessional, like an interview where you talk about what happened the day, what the review of the day. Mm-hmm. After about 3 days, I was already not used to interviews. 3 or 4 days, I'm like, dude, what do you want me to say? Since yesterday, I slept and I woke up. And then I was doing these interviews, irritated and not having anything to give. So I was like, there's no point in doing this. And then they call you every day on the house phone, and they're like, come over here, send Nate over, send this guy over, send it in a row. And then one of the days, they called, they're like, Nate, the phone. And I'm like, tell them I'm not here. And everybody's looking at me like, what are you talking about? It's the UFC calling. And I was like, I'm not home right now. And they're watching us camera, and they're all laughing, but they're like, what the hell is that? So I just didn't go and do the confessional for like a week.
Yeah.
And they call every day to go over so they don't miss nothing. And then after a week of not doing interviews, a week of happened. And so I spit a bunch of stuff about what happened. I was ready for an interview. And then when the show aired, it was basically every piece of interview that I did was in that one weekend. Mm-hmm. I think it's not necessary to sit there and do an interview if you don't have nothing entertaining to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, you do a lot of different things that other guys don't, but it seems to work out so well for you. I mean, why do you think you're so naturally good at just getting people to care about what you're doing?
Maybe, I don't know.
Don't know.
It's just the way it goes.
Well, do you feel like you have a lot to say now, though, since you haven't been talking for 3 years? I mean, you have to have something to say, right?
Yeah, if you could get it out of me. I don't really have nothing off top, but we could dig around, see what happens.
I mean, your brother's kind of the same way too, right? I mean, it's kind of a Diaz thing. Like, you guys avoid interviews. Is that something you learned from your brother?
Oh, I talk all day around Nick, and he's like, stop talking. So I might come off the same, but we're different in a lot of different ways. So.
I mean, why don't you just set the scene of where we're at and what you're doing this week?
What we're doing right now? Mm-hmm. Right now we're in LA, Venice. I'm training at Kron's gym, Kron Gracie. He trains with me a lot, and I never even came to LA training for any of the fights. And then when he came down and helped me train he came down and help Nick train for something, and then he came down to help me train when I fought Ben Henderson. And then he was going in a jiu-jitsu match against Shinya Aoki. So he flew me and some of my partners out to train at his gym, and he took us to Venice Beach and all kinds of cool natural food places and vegan places they got around here. And I was like, what? There's a whole another part of California with all kinds of good stuff. So I kind of use it now as he still comes down to train with me too, because he likes that it's kind of locked down, shut down training camp lifestyle there. And he comes there and does weeks and to recover from here, and then I'll come down here to train with him to recover from home. And that's usually the only thing I leave home for is some better training. So that's what I'm doing here. I came here, I've been doing fight camp around home and the area with my team at the Nick Diaz Academy. And then I came out here, set up some good sparring. I met with my boy Ali Suckback. He locked me in with some good sparring out here. So I'm doing a week here. I got a house, and that's what we are doing. And today we got an interview.
What's it like being in fight camp again?
It's what I lived in for so many years, so it felt not. It felt like when I wasn't in fight camp for a while, like something, like a fight camp needed to happen.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's been 3 years of that.
Yeah.
So why didn't a fight camp happen?
Well, the same thing was going on. I was doing all the training. There was just no fights, you know. And it was just a little. I felt like I won my last fight. I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. It's just what it is, and especially in this UFC game, because I've lost a lot of fights that I didn't lose. And I don't. Even if, like, let's just say I don't more so than I think. Like, I more for sure didn't lose that fight, you know what I'm saying? But they're treating it like, they treated it like you lost, go down the list, get out of here type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When he lost the first time to me, it was the biggest thing, and he needed his rematch, and he's obsessed with Nate, and all this marketing towards how much he needs to get this back and how great he is for actually jumping in there and doing it. I'm like, hold up, what about all the rematches I've always wanted? That's what I should have jumped into my contract. Like, hold up, if I'm gonna do this rematch, I want all my rematches that you guys never gave me. I should have done that, but you know what I'm saying? But I've been like lost a lot of good months of my life just sitting there sweating fights I've lost I didn't lose. And I'm like, you guys paid me way too much to be sitting here playing this stupid game and doing what you guys want me to do. So I'm cool, I'm gonna step it out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then 2 years flew by. Mm-hmm. And I was like, the whole time I'm sitting there waiting, like, when is somebody gonna step their stupid up and start calling for a fight? Because that's what I did. I'm like, you're the guy getting all the love and all the that I've worked hard for, and they're just handing it over and promoting it. Mm-hmm. And I put work in, and if you ain't sitting there, if you're not thinking that this guy's getting what you work for, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you're not working hard enough. Mm-hmm. Because that's thought of over miles and rounds and overtrained thoughts, you know what I'm saying? A lot of work was put into those thoughts, and if you're not spending that and saying that, then you shouldn't even be in that position. So I saw what was happening, and I went out and I took it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is what I'm about to do. Mm-hmm. And 2 years flew by. I'm like, I ain't gonna be begging nobody to fight. I don't need to fight. I beat the best guy at the moment. I beat the best guy, and you guys are just treating me like vanished. Then I'm like, all right, well, me, so you. But then after a certain while, I'm just like, what's wrong with all these fighters? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm a bigger draw, bigger fight than anybody in the game, and you gotta just sit back and like not participate and like black sheep to me. And not black sheep, it's like what is it called? Ostracized. When they're like, put me on the outskirts of the whole conversation. He dropped from the rankings. He's this, that. He's turning down fights. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're gonna start offering me prelim fighters. Mm-hmm. And be like, oh, he turned this down. Like, you guys were using that against me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it almost sounds like, because I'm sure you know this, a lot of people thought that you were just waiting for Conor.
Yeah, I was not waiting for him for a second.
What you're describing sounds like you weren't waiting for Conor, but you wanted someone that made sense, and you had reached a point where, like, almost.
Yeah, well, I've done the whole game. I'm the top two fighter in the whole game right now. Still 3, man. John Jones, 3. You know what I'm saying? And if like, and that's not fighting for 3 years. Like, I don't need to fight. I sneeze loud and everybody hears about it. It's like, but then it's like, hold up, you guys just want me to sit out in Venice. This is what everybody wants. So I'm over here like not feeling. I said it after the fight the first time that I was institutionalized to this fight game and stuff, and it really stayed like that. And what's happening was I'm telling myself to take it easy and don't train and don't do stuff because I'm not fighting. I need to, but I'm like, all that. So I'm training all these the last 3 years harder than anybody fighting. So I'm like, it's wear and tear. I'm like, if I'm gonna be training for all these, for with all my fighters for their fights and train for a lifestyle, and it's my hobby too, train. You know what I'm saying? Where I live is like a fight. Like I'm here for recovery from home. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I need to go just train somewhere else. I need a beach and some palm trees and some nice looking. Because where I live is just like, it's hell. It's where I grew up in the same thing, and only from a different perspective now. Because now I got some nice and but I don't have I have everything you need, but there's nothing to do where I live. It's a smaller town. Everything shuts down at 10, 11 o'clock. It's quiet. I'm living in a fight camp with no fight, so something needed to happen. It was like, I think the part of not fighting was not even, the fight wasn't with the fighters no more. They're not on my level. The fight was with the whole organization, the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm losing this fight if I'm just gonna sit here and die off in this little town. You know what I'm saying? Because I could go all the concerts and go and do all this cool that's offered to me all the time, but it's old. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want to just get back to what I do. And I didn't even want to fight when I was fighting for all those years. It's just what I did. I was on orders from a coach and my bro, and living the lifestyle, and it institutionalized me to that. Is that the right word I'm using? But that's what I mean. It makes sense, right? Yeah. So it like made my whole life is just arranged around that now. Because I've been fighting for, I'm younger than everybody. I'm 34. I've been fighting for since I was 18, 19 years old. How many years is that?
15.
I'm the youngest OG in this whole you know what I'm saying? Still here. I'm still winning the series too. You know what I'm saying? Still hopping in, fighting top contenders, doing my thing. Hey, remember when they were like, Nate Diaz was removed from the rankings, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're out of the rankings now." I seen people, managers, and writing on the internet like, "You got removed from the rankings. You ain't now." Like, you don't know this, but I already called in a range to fight. I won 70 that day. They moved me from the rankings. I'm like, how'd I sit in the rankings for 3 years, anyways, if I wasn't fighting? And with all their bad mouthing they were doing, I mean, see what I'm saying? That was my fight was with the organization. So. What I'm gonna, like, you know what, it's like, me and you ain't got no love for each other. We're like going head to head, and then you're like, all right, well, hey man, I know we don't like each other, but this guy real quick. I'm like, how about no?
What's it like? Because for a long time,
that's where I've been.
You you referred
Feel me?
You referred to yourself as like a soldier for a long time, you know, like your brother's army in Stockton, and you were a soldier. It doesn't feel like you're like you are a soldier still, but it doesn't feels like you're your own boss now. Like you graduated from being a soldier. I'm a Diaz
army soldier, always. still and always.
I mean, it just feels like something changed in a great way for you with the Conor fight. Both the Conor fights, you know, because like I remember you negotiating deals for those fights and then getting what you were worth, you know, and like that's a great thing. But then it also puts you in this position where it's like now you're like you said, you're training,
what am I reaching for
but
now?
You're not getting any.
What am I reaching for now? That's what I'm saying. I hit the
top,
and then they're asking me to do this downgraded. I'm like, okay, I see what's happening. You're downgrading me, degrading my whole. You're putting me in a fight.
How did they do that?
Yeah, I know what's in it, and they're making me look like a complainer. I'm like, I never called you guys. You know what I'm saying? You guys called me. Hey, what's up? We know we're rude, and we weeded you away, and we made you disappear with the Mayweather McGregor. You know what I'm saying?
How did they make you disappear with that? Like, what did they do that made you feel like they were making you disappear?
Well, and the Eddie Alvarez, that was a good matchup. That was a good win, easy win for him. They're like, he was put in all the right places. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even hating on that. That's great. That's cool as hell, and it's good. It's cool what he's doing and did and whatever he did. But like, you're a spoiled little though, because they handed you all that. You didn't do shit. If you came from where I came from, from the beginning. You wouldn't even made it into the fight, the first one. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Don't me some love out here from time to time. But it's not only love, it's just like, sure, you know, with that. All right, ooh, look, title fight with Eddie. Eddie's easy.
Yeah.
You're the 2-time champ. I beat him in between when he knocked out Aldo. I him up, beat him again, but lost. Then he fights for a title. Then he fights Mayweather. And then they're like, this guy's turning down fights. Is that not a kick in the ass? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold up. I don't need to be no part of none of that, but can I get a compliment?
What should have happened after the second fight? I mean, they had a plan for him, obviously, right? What should the plan have been for you? Like, I mean, you guys were in the biggest fight in UFC history.
I don't like how they're like, he did so much and he did so much. Remember, originally it's like the machine. The machine, you know what I'm saying? The machine fed that to the world. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a learning experience too, though. When I was younger, I remember Dana White flying me out when I was a youngster. I won the Ultimate Fighter. I tapped out everybody on the show. I don't think anybody's ever done that, too. I just finished everybody. You get bonuses when you finish. I probably made the most money on that show out of everybody. I was 21. That was hella years ago. Dude, come on. Look, I was 21 years old. I went on that show. I tapped out all these guys, smoked the show, and there were already stars in there. The guy who beat Pulver, the coach. Then I went and I fought like 3 black belts in jiu-jitsu, purple belt. I fought like 3 black belts. So that was a big thing. I'm fighting 3 black belts in jiu-jitsu now. Serious UFC stuff, not Ultimate Fighter stuff. And I just smoked through these fools, choked them all. Fight. I was like, dude, give me some contenders. I ain't playing. I don't need no baby like you're doing. I don't know. I want to fight the best dudes. They gave me Josh Neer, who was the top contender at the time, and he was a hard ass fight at the time, and I won that one. So I won 4 fights in a row. Won the Ultimate Fighter, so I beat 4 dudes in the Ultimate Fighter. So I'm like already 8-0 in the UFC. Dana White's flying me out like, hey, come on, let's play poker and do this and that. And he took me out there. I'm just a kid. He takes me to play poker. I don't know how to play no poker. I'm in Vegas with Dana White in a Ben Davis jacket. Like, what's up? What are we about to do? You know what I'm saying? And so now I realize, like, oh, it was my time. He was like, okay, dude, we're gonna put you in. I was too young and I didn't know nothing about none of that. I was like, okay. So then he said to me, he flew me out to Boston one time, and everyone was there. Diego Sanchez and Everlast, remember Everlast?
Yeah.
The singer and a bunch of what's that band that does Jump Around? Is that Everlast? Jump Around. So they were all there, and it's cool as hell, yeah. And I'm like, and later I just thought about this a while ago. I was like, oh. He was like, they were trying to play. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Some people need to talk to little young like me, but everybody else is from college nowadays, so they know what's that. So I had to learn that from experience. Now I know that. I'm like, okay, so I missed that boat, and then they started giving me losing this funny decisions, and then I'm like, no, hell no. Then I fought Rory McDonald and Dong Young Kim at 170, and then I fought Rory Markham, who didn't make weight. He was like 188 pounds. They're like, we're gonna have to loophole this year. This is a middleweight bout, and it was my first fight at 170. So I was like, what? This big as but where I'm a little kid. I'm like, they're like, didn't want to learn though. You want to fight him middleweight? And I'm like, yeah, I'm here to fight somebody, right? You know what I'm saying? They heard me, everything was good. I went and fought him, smashed him hella quick. That 185-pound fight. Then I fought Rory McDonald and Dong Young Kim, who were both. He had just beat Condit, I think. Rory McDonald. Did he beat Condit or lose to him? Did he beat him?
Or he was beating him all the way up and then lost to him. Yeah.
And that was my first fight, 170. He's a big old. And if you ever watch that fight, I got slammed in that fight because I got tired because I fought him different. I was young. And that fight was even the whole time. I was winning, most likely. And then he slammed me, and now that's what people remember, that he slammed. I was like, hold on, watch that fight. That's a competitive fight. I got tired because I was young in the game too. I didn't know how to fight as well. I used up a lot of energy. I got tired. I remember third round, I'm like tired. And he slams me, so I lost that. I'm like, okay. And then I got smaller when I went up, so I was like, I gotta go back to lightweight. So I fought all these dudes who got all title fights right fight or two later. Then I went back to 55. I started smashing everybody at 55. I get for a title contention. Then shit wasn't right. I'm like, I'm fighting for a title for this, for pennies. I don't even want to do this fight. But I'm signed up, so let's go. First of all, I'm a G, so I'm going to go fight this dude real quick. So I went and fought the dude. Lost the decision, then I got the Santos fight. Didn't train a day, hurt myself. I'm like, I got bills to pay though, so I'm about to do this. Mm-hmm. So I trained, I fought him. I don't even know who else I fought afterwards. What I'm saying is like, this whole time I've been in UFC since I was 21, I fought top contenders. Mm-hmm. And if they beat me, they got title shots. And it became somebody in the name or something. And most of the time, they lost decisions. They weren't even real losses. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I'm winning the series. This is what it started. I'm winning the series. I'm like, now I'm right here fighting this dude. And then after that, if everything comes out clean, I'm going to fight for a title fight. They were just offering me GSP, Khabib and Conor 4-man tournament. And I'm like, okay, well, that's what we're going to do.
Well, that sounds like a good plan to me, though,
yeah,
right?
it was great. They wanted to put me with GSP first, so, and I know he had some to sell it with my bro. I'm like, hey, mix that little mix-up around. I'll fight Khabib with Conor. And then whatever happened with them and everything, it kind of went, everybody had their issues. I was like, all right. And then they offered me Woodley, and it was on short notice. And that in between, they're already saying I'm turning down all these fights, but they're still calling me for these fights. So I'm like, is that not them just degrading me?
So why were they saying that you were turning down fights? Did you ever turn down a fight?
No, but when you come in with some petty
like with what? Like what were they offering?
I can't even remember. Like, who can we think of that were like just lames? I can't remember the name. Mm-hmm. And then they said, I'm like, and then like I wouldn't even talk to them. They're like, they called you with this. Like, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't even say no. I didn't even say yeah. I just felt like, all right, they're with me. And then it's all over the news. And so now everywhere I go, quit turning down fights. Post a picture of me at the beach. Like, I love the beach. Take a fight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, that's cold.
I mean, is there anything that you did?
So why am I going to fight for these people and go out of my way to go try to fight when it's like that? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is that with all the criticism that I got for not fighting too, especially from any fighter talking, and you're out of pocket. Shut your up. I still have more fights in EU not fighting. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, when am I gonna fight? Like, I never called you guys and said, can I fight Khabib and Conor and GSP? Can I fight Tyrone Woodley? That fight fell through because they were like short notice. I was like 172 pounds, 74 pounds. They're like, hey, you want to fight welterweight title in like 3 weeks or something? And I was like, yeah, let's do this. But yo, give me some. We gonna have to money up for this. But I'm with it whenever my night showed up too. I'm like, I'll pop up and do my thing. And then that's how that fight went. So I'm like, how am I turning down fighters that ain't worth it, but I can fight any title fight? If I have all the best fights offered to me, I'm like, well, that, you know what I'm saying? And then they badmouthed me off it. So 3 years of that went on. And then I was like, all right, you know what? Pettis is knocking out Thompson and doing all this cool shit when he fights, and I'm like, man, that's an eligible opponent. Mm-hmm. And I dig that. So that's what I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to be signing up for fights though, just to just cause like people, I want to punch someone in the face. Like that's not cool. I want to fight that's gonna motivate me to want to fight, not a fight that's just for like some extra cash when I already got a whole bunch of.
Does any part of you miss the days where it was more simple though, and you just did want to fight everybody? It didn't have to be like the perfect
I
circumstance.
got what you're saying now. Yeah.
Do you ever
It
miss
was way
those
better
days?
when I was sent in like a soldier. Now I'm like, no one tell me.
I mean, you've kind of explained it, but how do you decide what fight is worth you taking now? After everything you've done and the money that you've made and you've been in the biggest fights, so like, what does it require to get you in there? Like, what does motivate you at this point?
Good fighters and good fights.
Mm-hmm. How many of those are there in the UFC right now?
A couple maybe, and then every day something changes though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with all the fights going on.
Mm-hmm.
The fighters are boring all the whole games. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, where's like, dude, where are people at? Where's Jake Ellenberger and you know how many people I saw like come into the game way after me, win a couple fights, be this new hot, become a champion. You're the guy, and then you're on it downhill, and then you have one more win, and then you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many of those have came and gone, and I was here, and I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you gotta be doing something good for anybody to wanna, unless you're just some little and everybody's just telling you go fight him, little go fight him, little. That's just a bunch of little.
When you kind of had that set up that like with your brother in the old days, but you can't go back to him now. Like once you move past.
Yeah,
him,
but it
you
wasn't
can't go
like
back to
that.
him.
It was more like, you know what I'm saying? The UFC or anybody could have told me whatever. My brother and my coach would have told me to do something. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But time changes, man, and everybody's like, comes to a point where no one wants to tell you.
Were the last 3 years hard for you? Not
And
having
then
a fight?
everybody wants to tell you, but they don't know, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, were they tough? Because it's not like you said you were training, but you didn't have a fight to train for. Was that difficult? Was that hard on you?
No, it's irritating that nobody can. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, I can't be having just sitting there and watch lame go on and just go away though. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, can someone do something cool so there's something to do? It's different. Yeah, it's different. I'd rather be. I don't know.
Yeah, people think you don't want to be active. Are they wrong?
Should nobody be active on?
What happened with the Dustin Poirier fight? You were scheduled to fight Dustin Poirier at the end of last year. It didn't happen. Why not?
Because Dustin Poirier out is what happened. He was. We were supposed to fight, and there was whatever going on with me in the UFC was happening because they were me or I was with them, however they want to say it. But he jumped out of the fight because he couldn't deal with it.
Couldn't deal with what?
He couldn't sleep at night when he's got to think about, well, I'm like, why are you even worried about me? You're supposed to be a fighter. Don't worry about what I got going on. I'm showing up to fight you. Why did you pull out, and why is no one asking you that? And why are you getting a title shot? That's a win for me. I already beat him. You know what I'm saying? If me and you are supposed to meet to train tomorrow for training for jiu-jitsu or boxing or MMA or whatever, we have an appointment. We're going tomorrow at 7 p.m. and we're going to train, me and you. And if you get a stomach ache or your toothache or your hair or it ain't done or something ain't right or your girlfriend's mad and you don't make it to 7 o'clock, you lost, dude. You can't make it. You can't cut it. Straight up. That's an L.
I know you said that you're...
Justify it however you want to. Like what? Or somebody gave them a lot of money and told them to sit out. Paid in full.
You think that's what happened?
You tell me what happened.
I don't know.
How come no one talks about it?
I don't know.
But I'm not trying to bring up old stuff. I don't care. I don't got no problem with Dustin Poirier. He's doing his thing. they're doing that's in the past. That's a dub for me. That's an L for him. And something happened.
Nate, I know you've said that you're done with Conor, and I can understand why. Mm-hmm. I can completely understand why you would say that. But like, as far as the sport goes, I mean, when you think about like just
I gotta go to the restroom real quick. Is that allowed?
Yeah, go for it.
But now I got some good stuff to go in on now. You guys shouldn't have warmed me up.
Well, you were willing to give him the second fight, and then the fight was closed.
That's what I mean, though. Like, what? I gave you the second fight. Like, should have pieced out in the sunset, but I ain't no show. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. Let's do that.
Yeah, I feel like there has to be a third fight between you and Conor.
But in the end, it's not even fair. I should have just beat his and went on my way. Mm-hmm. But I have a moral against anyway. I'm like, well, let's do it again then. Mm-hmm. But other people don't have that moral. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why there ain't no real fighters. That's why you're in for 5 minutes and then you're out. Even Conor's on his way. Where he at? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how much money and whatever he's doing that's good, you still need to fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is what you do. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, it's going to drive you crazy not doing what you do.
Because do you think he's happy with the way that I mean, if there's only 2 fights between you two, do you think he's content with what happened in them? Conor, do you think he's all right with what happened in those 2 fights?
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. You got smashed on your face and choked in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. Got a rematch like a little spoiled little baby. Like, where's my rematch? It's still with him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and then you came back and won a little decision that could have went either way. I don't even care if it was a big decision. It's not the same.
Is that
time to war? You dead, dog. I got all your. It's all mine. Everything. There is no second fight. That's what happened with that. There was no second fight.
Do you think that's part of the reason why you and the UFC have butted heads over the last 3 years? Is just because they owe you that fight? Like that was kind of set up that if he won, there was going to be a third one, and then it hasn't happened yet. And
then just like the fact that it's like, if I'm not going to fight that fight, that's cool. I understand I ruined all your plans. That's cool. Ran up, peace out with that. But don't start saying I turned down fights now. Like, you already didn't give me another fight. Mm-hmm. And he was okay with it. I'm like, whatever, he'll fight me again because he's a fighter. You're like, come on, you can't be content with a decision. You got choked on your face.
Beyond Anthony Pettis being a good fighter and going out and he had a great knockout over Stephen Thompson and he's a real fighter. Where is this fight taking you? Like, where do these? Because when you're in the middle of a career, your fights are taking you to something, right? Mm-hmm. Like, where is this fight taking you? It's at 170 pounds, which is nice.
This fight is taking me away from all the lame ass fighters that aren't doing getting in love and then not doing anything with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have a goal. I'd be like, I'm gonna do this. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fight this guy and do my best to win. And then when I win, I'm gonna do something with that. Mm-hmm. Mics are on. You better make something happen. Because like, what are you gonna do? Just fight? That's what I'm saying. What am I gonna fight? What are you gonna fight somebody for? Just to get paid? It's different now. It's like, just for a paycheck like that, you kind of deserve your whipped if you're just fighting for only just for some more money. Because you know what I'm saying. Like, I came from normal. Like, mm-hmm. I need more money. Well, then I'll go sit at a dispensary and smoke weed with people for 2 hours for hell of money. That's getting boring. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But man, I've been kicking and punching my head and been in a lot of fights for a long time. And it's like, now when someone knocks someone out all cool on TV and everybody's like, that guy's the man, you're like, hold up. That's who I want to fight. You know what I'm saying? The guy who's doing I feel like I'm in a position to be able to pick and choose because I already done more than all these fighters, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's my thoughts on that. It's cool, but it's like I would like to just fight somebody when it's.
Well, that's why as someone who watches the sport, I feel like you've done more than like most guys need to go after a title. Most guys need that sort of motivation, or most guys need that storyline, and you don't, and neither does Conor. And the storyline between you two.
Because look at the champions. Who are the champions right now?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
who's the champion in my weight class? 55 and 70.
55's Khabib.
Okay.
70's Kamaru Usman.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be nice.
I feel like I'm just better and cooler than those guys. What the hell do I want to fight them for? Pettis is cooler than both of them, fight-wise. You know what I'm saying? Remember Street Fighter? I want to see that versus that guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or just at school when you just knew two dudes who kick. And you were like, I wonder what would happen if them fools fight, you know? It's like, that's the one that I think about it from outside perspective too. If I was somebody who wanted to watch me fight in the UFC, I would want to watch me fight Conor or Pettis or...
Yeah.
You know, Masvidal just did his thing the other day. That was great, you know? It's like, stuff like that, with all due respect, motivates you to want to fight that person because they've done some great Stick that in my bag of great you know, in the fight world. It's like, these guys are guys kicking them. That's what you start fighting in the fight for in the first place, right? Fight the best fighters, the coolest fighters, the best. That's the sport I signed up for when I signed up.
So I want to ask you directly, sitting here, do you think, and I'm asking as a fight fan, do you think that you and Conor will fight a third time?
Time will tell, I'm sure. I'm sure probably, but I think it's about just timing.
And do you think you and Khabib...
If he still fights, if they still fight, if everything lines up, that's the only guy that'll fight right now is those two. I don't want to fight no Usman or no... Khabib's the guy, I'll fight him. If he wanted to, though, I ain't no bully. I already tried. I was like, what's up, let's do this. And then, whatever, they're just the champions now. It's like, okay, champ, I was here before you. Way before you. You know what I'm saying? They just, I'm the champ. I'm going to fight the guy in line. You're going to fight the guy I beat, Poirier, Dustin Poirier, the guy who hurt himself, the guy who took the money and didn't do the fight. Whatever the reason, he's not very cool for that reason to me. I'm a fan of martial arts and fight. But when you do stuff, that takes you out of my cool book. Lost cool points.
I mean, are you going to get this figured out, or is it possible that you fight Anthony Pettis?
Does anyone here know anything about this stuff? Know about this stuff, or am I just talking to him? I'm wondering if I'm just like, what is this guy talking about? We're supposed to get dinner.
I mean, we're kind of in the weeds occasionally, you
Sometimes,
and I.
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm like, you feel me? I don't think these people are don't even know what I'm talking about.
We're almost done. I just want to ask you.
Because when you're in a room of people, like I'm talking to everybody too. I'm like, man.
Well, just a couple more questions. Do you think that this is going to get figured out, or do you think that there is a possibility that you'll fight Anthony Pettis and then you don't fight again for a long time?
And how it plays out, I would like to just get along with everybody, and I would like to just keep the show rolling for a while. You know, I've been training. I'm ready to ready to be in the game. I'm not gonna say back in the game because I've been in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just. Hopefully, this one leads into. You know, and if doesn't work out the best way, then I'm still gonna find my way back at you or back up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. How many fights do you have left on your UFC contract?
I don't even know. I think a few.
Could you ever see a day where UFC is maybe not where it's at anymore? Do you have interest in boxing? Could we see you in another sport?
At this point, it's not even the organizations or anything. It's about, for me, that's what I'm saying. I want to fight the best guys. So I want whatever the best. Right now, it's for sure in the UFC. you know? And that's just like how it is, though. Who knows if Usman or Khabib are even going to be champions in 2 weeks? Changes. Changes, you know? These guys... I can't tell you, dude. I'm going to fight Anthony Pettis, and then we're going to go from there.
Yep. All right. Anything
I hope
else?
somebody does some cool shit, though, after. In the meantime. You know, I enjoy good fights. I do a lot of fight watching when I'm not watching nowadays. Before, when I was younger, I used to watch everything. But now it's like, all right, this isn't very entertaining, so I'm going to a concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and special content, subscribe to ESPN+.